The adventurous travels of some people leave a mark on history. Some lead to the beginning of a new era. By exploring the unseen world and culture, they become the agents who connect East and West. That was the time trade and religion started to search for its base grounds in several regions. They laid the footsteps for more to follow by crossing mountains, oceans, towns and villages, from kings' courts to death rows. Some of them were patrons and some of them were outlaws. From Atlas Mountains to the land of the Golden Horde, from the caravansarais of Eastern China to the land of olives, from Western Europe to the Western Ghats. What makes them take a leap that nobody has ever taken? Who were they? The explorers who navigate from continents to big oceans are being discovered here. You are hearing Traveler's Diary with Muhammad Mukhtar on YouTube podcasts. His mind was not clear. He didn't get his answer to his question. Everything seems illogical to him. He got into a confusion about himself. He approached his older brother for a solution. His older brother introduced a new scripture to him. Those were Buddhist scripture. The young man was so impressed, he wants to know more about it. So he started to travel in search of truth, in search of light, a spiritual journey. Xuanzang was born in 602 in Gushi, a place in Henan province of China. He was a great traveler as well as a Buddhist monk who introduced Buddhism into China from India. He was a great scholar who translated Buddhist scriptures from Sanskrit into Chinese. He was famous because of the literary works and his travel accounts in Central Asia and India, in which he described every detail in precise manner. He was born into a family of scholars and he received formal education. His first journey was to Sichuan in order to escape from a political turmoil that gripped China. While he was in Sichuan, he started to read about Buddhist texts and philosophy. From the reading, he was soon troubled by discrepancies and contradictions in the text. He asked his Chinese masters, but they all disappointed him. That led him to decide to go to India to study the fundamentals of Buddhism. He started his journey by crossing Takla Makan Desert, which led him to Turfan, Karashar, Kucha, Tashkent, Samarkand and the Hindu Kush mountains. By passing all these cities and mountains, he ended Kashmir through Gandhara. From there, he followed the river Ganga and reached Mathura in 633, which was then the holy land of Buddhism. In India, he decided to travel from village to village and all sacred cities connected with the life of Buddha from north to south. He journeyed to the east and west coast of India. He spent so much time in Nalanda Monastery, which was a great university at that time in India. He perfected his knowledge in Sanskrit, Buddhist philosophy and Indian school of thought. His fame of knowledge grew very fast. Even King Harsha of North India expressed his desire to see him and honor him. Harsha even converted to Buddhism, which sparked the Brahmins then. At Nalanda, Xuansang was a critic of two major philosophical thoughts of Hinduism which were in conflict with Buddhism. They were Samkhya and Vaisheshika. He also criticized the aesthetic monism of Jainism in terms of Jain monastic garb and iconography. Thanks to Harsha, with his patronage, Xuanzang could return to China. The Chinese welcomed him cordially in Chang'an, the capital of Tang dynasty, in 645. He took 16 years to return. He was also honored by the emperor, who also offered him a ministerial post. But Xuanzang declined it respectfully, saying that he will choose to serve his religion. Xuanzang spent the remainder of his life translating the Buddhist scriptures, around 657 items packed in 520 cases, which he brought back from India. In addition to his translations, Xuanzang worked on another great work of his life, the records of the western regions of the Great Tang Dynasty. This work comprised various chapters regarding details of the countries that he passed through. Xuanzang has traveled along what we know as the Silk Road. It also tells about the Buddhist culture existed in Afghanistan, and it is also a textual evidence of Buddha sculptures at Bamiyan. His works were also credited with spreading of sugar making technology which originated in China. His literary works were very important because it contained vital information about the social and political conditions of South, Central and Southeast Asia. It contains information about the dynasties and kingdoms situated on the routes between India and China. His document throws light on the long distance journey on those days. He survived dangerous situations and extreme climate conditions. As it is mentioned before, the beginning of his travels was very discreet. He traveled under the cover of darkness and spent time as a fugitive. His return journey was also a journey of learning and teaching. He traveled slowly, met many people along the way. He learned about their culture. Apparently, Xuanzang was a personality who maintained many political relations. Because he started traveling illegally from China, he may have thought about seeking asylum in foreign places. After his return to China, he had a strong connection with the Emperor Taizong, and he was the main audience of his works. He wants Taizong to appreciate him. His work is also exceptional because it has given amazing records and aided modern historians and archaeologists.